If you're looking for the best invisible dog fence, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the 10th position of our list, we have Extreme Dog Fence Kit. Next up, we've got a solid in-ground model from Extreme Dog Food, but is it any good? To kick off, you'll get enormous potential coverage of up to 6 acres, making this the ideal choice, even if you have a huge garden. Multiple systems are available, giving you the ability to contain up to 5 dogs. This second iteration of the iconic kit comes with overhauled electronics and an enhanced collar. The collar is lightweight yet still deceptively rugged. The system checks for battery level every couple hours, so you shouldn't get caught short. Also waterproof and completely submersible, your dog can wander in any weather conditions without compromising the containment system. One thing you should be aware of is that you'll need to use proprietary batteries, keeping you locked in. Factor the cost of these into budgeting. The fence comes with a 1-year warranty as standard. As soon as you register the fence, this is extended to 5 years, giving you complete peace of mind. Fences are made in the US, and American-based customer care means you're amply supported every step of the way. Moving on to the next at number 9 with Pet Safe Elite In-Ground Fence. Pet Safe dominates this vertical, and you can find something whatever your circumstances and whatever the size of your garden. Do you have a yard up to 1/3 acre? If so, you can keep all your dogs away from harm by using extra collars to contain them by the system. For anyone with larger spaces to contend with, you can buy additional wire and expand this modular system over an area of 25 acres. That should be enough for absolutely everybody. The collars are waterproof and reflective for use around the clock in all conditions. They're comfy and relatively lightweight, as well as completely adjustable. Take the time when you're setting up to get the fit exactly right. Also, keep a close eye on the skin surrounding the collar and make sure the prongs are always clean and disinfected. For levels of progressive correction, administer increasingly sharp static shocks. While not painful, they should be uncomfortable enough to stop your dog from straying. The number 8 position is held by Sit Boo Boo In-Ground, an above-ground pet containment system. Last but certainly not least, the memorably named Sit Boo Boo Fence is a complete containment system at a particularly keen price point that deserves a place on any shortlist. How does this fence stand out in a glutted field? Well, with 7 levels of static correction, you'll get more latitude than you'll find with competing collars. This gives you a little extra scope if your dog doesn't respond to gentle correction. If, on the other hand, you're not inclined to give your dog a jolt of static, use a pulsing vibration or ultrasonic beep instead. Find what works best and stick with it. Completely waterproofed and designed to work in hostile conditions, you've got an all-weather training aid, giving your dog just enough freedom while presenting him with clear boundaries. If anything goes amiss during the first year of purchase, the manufacturer will give you a no-quibbles replacement. This removes any reason not to buy, so what are you waiting for? Next at number 7 we have Pet Safe YardMax Underground Pet Barrier. The Pet Safe YardMax is ideal if you have a small or mid-sized garden up to 1/3 acre. The complete kit comes with absolutely everything you need to train your dogs to respect boundaries. The standard correction method is static correction. This administers a static shock to your dog roughly comparable to the shocks you get yourself from time to time. If you dislike the idea of this form of correction, you can deactivate the static shock in favor of tone-only correction. You'll need to see whether or not your dog responds to this gentler approach. There's no limit to the number of pets you can keep safe and sound with this fence. To minimize your costs, you can do this by using the same receiver and extra collars, which are available separately without breaking the bank. If forced to draw attention to a flaw, we'd have to say the lack of manual override is an annoyance we'd like to see remedied in future iterations. In most respects though, this is a no-nonsense and highly efficient way of keeping your dogs in the garden without constantly supervising them. The number 6 position is held by Extreme Dog Fence Max Grade Ultimate Performance Electric Dog Fence System. Are you looking for a heavy-duty dog fence that will stand up to all winds and weathers without letting you down and letting your dog escape? The Extreme Dog Fence Max is the company's most rugged containment system, so what do you get for your money? The key selling point of this kit is the level of versatility offered. There's no limit on the number of dogs you can contain as long as you buy separate collars for each. These collars are completely waterproof and submersible to 10 feet. The kits are arranged according to the amount of wire and number of dogs provided for. This variant, for example, comes with 2 collars and 500 feet of heavy-grade wire to keep your furballs safe and sound. If you want to keep more dogs inside, just invest in additional collars. Correction is administered through 7 different levels of static shock. You can also manipulate correction to involve audible beeps only if you're concerned about delivering humane correction at all times. Build quality is impressive with this US-made kit. You'll get everything you need to get going right out the box, from collars, contact probes, and transmitter through to 500 feet of wire and 50 training flags. There's even a surge protector baked in so your lightning strikes won't leave your boundary fence exposed. So, if you've experimented with wireless dog fences before and found them coming up short, you might consider this wired option for a stable solution against Houdini-like pets. The number 5 position is dominated by pet-safe above-ground electric fence. For households with multiple pets, this pet-safe above-ground containment system is an absolute must. What makes it so good then? You'll be free to choose between correcting your pooch using ultrasonic beeps inaudible to the human ear or with static correction. This gives you the chance to road test a completely humane strategy, but fall back upon more robust correction if necessary. The rechargeable batteries return up to 2 months of runtime, giving you a hassle-free experience every step of the way. This fence is easy to slip in the RV or to take to the campsite if you want to give your dogs a taste of the wild without allowing them to roam off too far. Don't be fooled by the marketing hype here. While the manufacturer claims this fence works well with cats, the collar is too bulky, and we really would not advise using this fence for felines. Moving on to the next at number 4 with SportDOG in-ground fence. Our overall pick for the best in-ground dog fences comes from SportDOG, an industry heavyweight with a reputation for producing quality equipment at a reasonable price point. This invisible fence continues that winning tradition. If you have several dogs at home, you can save money by buying extra collars individually. The collar comes with a rechargeable battery delivering up to 1 month of runtime. This is fully waterproof, so your dog is protected in all winds and weathers. You can train your canines using multiple levels of static correction. If you don't like the idea of shocking your furball, use vibration or ultrasonic sound instead. With 1,000 feet of wire thrown and along with the requisite training flags, you have everything you need to get started right out the box. As with all containment fences, you should go into this purchase with your eyes wide open. You'll need to set aside some time for installation. You also need to factor in a training period when you'll be on the ground to guide your dog and show them the new boundaries in place. Do this and you'll be confident that your dogs can roam in the yard without heading off down the road. The number 3 position is held by Pet Safe Stubborn Dog In-Ground Fence. As we near the end of our quest for the best electric dog fence system, yet another model from Pet Safe with this fence expressly designed to stop stubborn and willful dogs from wandering afar. You'll be able to contain your pooches within areas up to 1/3 acre, so it's an ideal solution for small or mid-sized yards. You'll get 500 feet of wire included, that's up to the job. If you want further coverage, you can expand the system to a huge 25 acres if you buy the requisite wire. As an in-ground model, you'll need to set aside a chunk of time to get things set up. All that wire needs burying. If this is not a job you feel up to yourself, be sure to factor in the cost of professional installation. If you have an especially large breed, they might find even the highest setting doesn't provide them with enough incentive not to stray. For most dogs though, even those typically resistant to correction, this fence should keep them where you want them. Next at number 2 we have Pet Safe Above Ground Electric Fence. Do you have a larger garden and a number of dogs that need containing? Get the job done on the cheap with this fantastic above-ground solution. Due to the super portable nature of the setup, this fence makes a neat fit if you're camping or out in the RV. The wireless nature also makes installation a cinch and won't send you digging up the garden to bury wires. You should allow roughly 2 hours to get things going, then you can start training your furballs at once. Your dog will be corrected through multiple progressive levels of static shock. You can disengage shock correction if you prefer a more humane and less direct approach. Instead, you'll use ultrasonic beats to dissuade your pooch from wandering. Some fences zap your dog when he returns home, but with this model, he can return to the fold without being shocked, so he isn't reluctant to head back inside. The only minor niggle with this otherwise exceptional fence is an annoying sound that emits at the highest setting. In all other respects, you get impeccable performance married to unrivaled value. Finally, the number 1 position is dominated by Pet Safe Invisible Fence. Pet Safe is the parent company of the Invisible Fence brand, and this is yet another fine example from this deep bench. Giving enough coverage for a half-acre space, this fence should serve you well if you've got a larger yard and several pets prone to roaming. All you'll need to do is add more collars, which you can buy separately, and you can keep your whole menagerie contained. The collars come waterproofed, so you have nothing to worry about. Fueled by a rechargeable battery, you can expect more than a month of runtime before this needs a jolt of charge. A versatile collar, this fits dogs from 8 pounds and up with neck sizes from 6 through 28 inches. A regular in-ground fence will zap your pooch when he returns home as well as when he escapes. Avoid this with the static-free re-entry in place on this wireless model. You won't need to mess around with involved setup either. Everything you need is thrown in, and you can get started training immediately. As with all containment systems, you should invest the time into training your dog so he'll soon be safely kept within your boundaries for fear of correction. That's all for today. We upload product review videos every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for the upcoming video notification.